Welcome to Big Z's Tank Chronicles number 2. In this one we're going to go over some open league fights. This fight was on steps. We had two 1390s, an IS-3, a 110, and a 5100 along with our two T1s. And much to our surprise, they are bringing 5 1390s. That gives them a very, very fast mobile team that has long range, good eyes, and the ability to get around. Our only real hope here was to kind of bunker up, play defensively, get to a spot where they cannot use their eyes or their speed very effectively, and basically bring them to us and try to box them in so they can't get very far away from us. And you can see what they're doing is they're trying to figure out where we're at, trying to locate us so they can figure out how to approach us with the obviously desire to destroy us. So you're going to see the scouts kind of popping out here and there. They first checked out from the southern area. Now they're on the eastern edge trying to figure out where we're at and how we're set up. Right here you see me making a slight mistake, nothing that cost me much, but I shot at him. I probably shouldn't have shot at him. He was way off. My chances of hitting him were very low. But I exposed myself. Now I have to move down to a better location so I don't get shot up while I'm up there. Here comes the rush. They're getting over those tracks, and we are returning fire on a lot of them. See some misses and some hits, and they're tearing into us pretty good. This is after we had moved our 5100 kind of back. He was way off to one side, so we kind of brought him in closer so we can work together. I run up here and I am out of rounds, so now I'm trying to get back out of the way, which as you can see doesn't get me very far in this case. And if you look at what's happening, we are down to 2 tanks and they have 5. You would think that this was over at this point. They've outnumbered us, outmaneuvered us. They're all going back to reload. But we're not quite dead yet. Yeah, the downside of that rush was they all got wounded pretty badly. So when they came in for the second round, Wang Tang, our 5100 driver, who is now fully loaded, ends up destroying 3 of them. And then another one that comes from behind, Challenger, our IS-3 driver, destroys. You would have thought that that would have set us up for a win, and Challenger does destroy their last 1390, but the T1s run off and we are unable to catch or find them. So this one ends up in a draw. In our second match, we bring in an extra 5100 for firepower and health, and they go a little bit more traditional with a couple of 32s, a Pershing, a 69, and a 1390. Early in this match, one of the 32 drivers makes a big mistake and gets out too far in front or where we can fire at him. And Wang Tang and I in our 5100s punish him severely, end up killing him. So they're down him, Tang, very early in this match. Of course, as you can see, I also punish the dirt severely as well, in addition to the tank. Keep in mind that despite the fact you get to see the mods and a slightly different layout for the controls and such for my tank, when we play the Open League battles, we're actually using the vanilla client. We don't get to see all the extra. It's just straight vanilla, no mods. I have two clients installed on my computer, one vanilla for tournaments, one modded for random battles, and this is just that I play the replays on the modded client. Now that I'm reloaded, I'm going in for a flank on these guys. The fight has gotten quite thick, and lots of targets. The first point is to certainly try to take out anything that's wounded. And then after that, whatever happens to be in my sights. After punishing the 32 all I can from there, I've got one more shell, so I turn around the corner and use it to put one more into the 32, then let's finish off the 32 so we can focus on the scout that's left. After we finish off the 32, I was really kind of worried that 1390 might try to escape and try to draw another fight, but we were able to track him down. Had found him and got his attention, nearly killed him, and then I wasn't quite loaded yet, so I just rammed him. Now it's time to finish off the final T1s. What the heck I do next, I have no idea what I'm thinking. I think I went around thinking maybe I'm going to save my T1, then I changed my mind because my team was screaming at me asking what the heck I was doing, so go finish off the T1s. And at that point it is one for us and one draw. This time they changed to 269s and 21390s, still a pretty fast setup, and we still have to be kind of defensive. We did stick with our heavier firepower. Instead of going back behind the tracks, we went over to the corner, and it kind of pays off early. We see a 1390 really early and get a couple of shots on him. Nothing to destroy him with, but just enough to damage him. Downside of encountering them so early is we had to move back to a different location just to throw them off a little bit as far as locating where we're at exactly. And we end up partially behind the tracks, and some of us behind the other hill. And once again, they are trying to find us and see how to approach us. they are finally beginning to make a move, and I pop my head up and get myself punished for it. They start making a pretty good push into our location with the 69s and the 1390s. Was the push was too late, and they were not able to dig us out with the tanks that they had without taking serious damage. So this one becomes a draw as well. So we win one, we draw two. In the third and final match, they bring back 3 1390s and 2 T69s, and we stick with our setup. We spot their scout early on, however are not able to do much with it at that point. We end up being a little surprised by finding their T69s on our flank, but we're not very far from base, and we're able to turn around really quickly, so we get back and start tearing things up pretty good. The setup they've chosen, they have a lot of extra speed and some good autoloaders, but we do have a lot more firepower than they do in this case with the 5100s and the IS-3s and 110s. The downside of an autoloader like a 5100 is it takes a long time to reload. So while everybody else is fighting, I'm kind of sitting behind a rock and praying that I can get the drum reloaded. Kind of bad for this 1390. You see him get tracked and then fix his track. It's like, okay, it's fixed, it's going, and he gets tracked again. And that was pretty much all she wrote for that poor guy. Yeah, I probably should have stayed back and let this guy have a little bit more room, but anyway, he used a shot on me, so it's one less shot to shoot somebody else. And we still ended up winning this round, and so we won the 2 rounds necessary to win the overall battle. And that is the end of the second episode of Big Z's Tank Chronicles. Have a great day, and I hope to see you for the next one.